when it happened, did you look back and say, okay, maybe I saw the signs? Were there?
There were no signs.
There were no signs.
Would I even blame Bella Nigeria, the blogs, and then us?
My dear, I blame them so much.
So yeah, there's been an incident where the groom didn't show up that morning.
Of the wedding? Welcome to Reality Check with Adaeze. Here we discuss with real people, real issues that affect real lives. And today we have a special darling in the building. You guys, I have Adaeze Darling here today. Adaeze Darling has a YouTube channel called Adaeze Darling. And she's a content creator. She's a mom of a very beautiful boy. You know when they say somebody's beautiful, it's not handsome, a beautiful boy. And she's also a wedding planner. You guys, that is the major reason why she's here today. She's going to tell us about, we're talking about divorce basically, but we want to see it from the perspective of a wedding planner. She has planned so many weddings. In fact, she's extraordinary when it comes to it. But let us know from behind the scenes, those things that people don't know, but people like you have been seeing it, and you will come and tell us today. Anyway, welcome to the channel, Adaeze Darling. Welcome to this episode of Reality Check with Adaeze. Let us know a little bit about you.
All right, so hi everyone. My name is Astoka Agri Abba, and of course my channel is called Adaeze Darling because I'm such a darling. So I'm a wedding planner. I've been planning for close to 8 years now, and I also do data analytics on the side and all of that. But of course, I'm a YouTuber.
Her brain is very hot.
I'm a YouTuber. So that's also why we are here. Let's talk.
But seriously, before we even get into the topic of today, how do you manage it? You're a wedding planner and you're doing all this IT, all this rocket science sounding things.
I'm just meeting deadlines at this point.
Right?
Yeah, I'm just meeting deadlines. As long as I can meet the deadline. Quarter to assignment submission, just click submit. It just catch up. It never gets easy, but I find that even when I stopped school, I started craving for. So it's like an emotionally abusive relationship at this point. Because when I was free from school and I had all the time, I started researching what school to go back to. So yeah, I think I should just go ahead and do it.
That means it's something that is like...
We like the high of having to do so many things and just push. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah. So, topic of today, we're talking about divorce in marriages because it's like everybody's divorcing. It's only me and you. Let's just hold on to the ones that we have.
Last year was bad.
Even this beginning of this year, I've been seeing
January came with pressure.
Why? What is happening? What do you think is happening?
I don't know. I think it's COVID. I think after COVID, people just started giving people bad eye.
Do you know you have a point?
Yeah.
And why I say you have a point is that some people have never coexisted with their partners that closely before. And then for that long. And then now the guy is like, okay, working from home. She's working from home. They're now seeing things.
That's the main. COVID is one. And then if anything had happened that year, nobody knew how long COVID was going to stay for, if it was coming back. Yeah. So marriages that seemed to survive 2020, 2021 seemed like, okay, we're okay, but no. Yeah. The COVID issues entered 2022 was like, okay, the world has finally gotten back. So everybody was just... I think it got to a point where nobody even advises again. No.
Yeah.
Anything you enter and see.
Just see, collect it and
like at this point, nobody has I pity marriage counselors.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to tell them? Enter inside, then see you, I see take. Yeah. Because it was bad. I really don't know, but I will blame COVID first because the moment you survive that kind of pandemic and you did not die, you know the way they made it seem like we'll be falling on the floor and dying. I think after a while, people were just done with managing and done with...
Yes, because if you look at it, if you look at social media as well, aside marriages, I noticed that many people started doing things they were not doing before, traveling. A lot of people traveled last year.
They're acting like they had 5 more years to live.
Yes, exactly. So people just said, you know what, just go for it because things can change under how many... COVID came and it was like a joke initially.
Jesus.
Before you knew what was happening.
It messed in fact, it will take the world like 15 to 20 years. Especially supply chain. Yes. Supply chain is a big... That's why right now, even in universities, everybody is going for supply chain.
Because
the containers that didn't move during COVID, some are spoiling, some before they will even decongest to get more in. It's a lot. Backlog in manufacturing, backlog. That's part of
many
why
businesses closed.
Many businesses.
And finance is one of those things that affects marriages as well.
Very big. Very big issue. And then when there's so much money in a little space, you start looking at where the monies are going to. Because then they had people that were getting money, maybe because from your company now, they give you money, stipends for health hazard. And now, maybe madam wants a chunk of it, and then money becomes an issue because when it's so much and you don't share it the way plus the tight space. Because a lot of people, you think it's even the poverty. No, it's not the lack thereof. It's the fact that, okay, the money is here, we are here. I want us to travel. No. I want us to save. No. Why will we save? What if you don't like me next year?
Exactly.
So people now didn't have trust again. In fact, trust is dead. Everybody enters marriage with, let me build my house. Let me buy my car.
Everybody's ready with defense upon defense with shield. This was sword. Everybody's ready.
It's crazy. It's crazy at this point.
Okay, but from a wedding planner, because as much as weddings have been scattering this and that, I've been married, I'm scattering. People have been getting married.
Of course.
Every year, every week, every weekend, there are weddings everywhere. So what do you think, or are there things you've seen during the wedding planning process that just told you, this marriage?
Family interference. That one would be like not just the weddings I plan. Vendors, we are a close-knit circle. Generally, when vendors sit together and talk, family interference is major. Because most times, wedding planning will even teach you that the most unlikely couple will so last, it will scare you. It's the ones that are lovey-dovey that won't even last that long. So the ones that are unlikely, that even quarreled and shouted on themselves that morning, they will be doing 7 years, and you'll be like, because they match each other's wearing. But then,
it's true.
Family interference is one that they can't escape. If they are not mature enough, we will just look at it and be like, nah, this this groom's mother is not going to, this bride's mother is not going to allow them rest. At some point, it will pass. There's no way you see it. Then also bride and groom. I feel like, would I even blame Bella Naija, the blogs, and then us?
I blame them so much.
At some point, they're doing a job, because most times they would look at it like, of course, they're inspiring others. But I find that a lot of people are obsessed with the idea of weddings, not even married. Most times I tell you, see, the wedding is my job. You focus on the guy, focus on the marriage, focus on the this. Oh, I want lavender. This one is looking like lilac. I'm like, they're in the same family. Relax. Exactly. Relax. The moment we put on lights,
they want something picturesque so they can post it and everybody will be wild.
Everybody dreamt of their wedding when they were young. And I'm like, am I the only one that didn't dream? What's going on here? Everybody had that. In fact, when they come in, some people straight up tell me, I want to trend.
Are you serious? I remember watching, was it not this makeup artist, Anita Browse, that said when she does some people's makeup, they get angry that she does not post them on her page.
Oh, yes.
I'm like...
some people use big vendors so they can have them post them on their page.
Are you serious?
It's a big deal. It's
serious?
Actually a big deal. Nobody's paying for Anita Browse just because they want their face to be fine. I want you to post me on your page. And then I repost that post like I didn't know you were going to post me.
Like I didn't know you were before or something.
Yeah, she did. And for me, I think I've worked with her before. She's very nice and calm and really professional. Yeah, there are some people, I feel, yes, Instagram, you see people and then, but then Lagos people, their way is different. But when you enter there, I feel, I won't even say people are priced X or Y. I feel people go for names. So if you're a bride and you're going for a name, if I'm a name, whatever price I give you, you have to pay because I'm a name.
Yes, exactly.
Do you understand the hand? So you want to use that clout to push your wedding. Yeah, some people come, okay, I want this other photographer, I want this other this, I want this other, because if you have these things in place, it's easy for Bella Naija to pick.
Oh.
Yeah. Because most times they come and they ask me, I want Bella Naija to post my, and I'm like, see, seriously, it's not like they don't want to post anybody's wedding, but I found out that when they approach me, there are certain things that we did in the wedding. Yeah. So you can't just have a skanky wedding and do that. No. So most times they go like, okay, please, can you ask your couple if they want to share their proposal story or this? You look at them, they are nice. The photographer was on point. The makeup was on point. The dresses were on point. Because they are also running a professional blog that is a luxury blog. It's not a tacky blog. Yes. So if you want to be there, you have to up your budget. And then look good or do extra a bit.
Thank God I got married when I got married.
It's tougher now.
Shortly before Instagram became a thing. I missed it small.
I'm telling you, right now it's tough.
Wow.
But if you're not superficial, you're good.
Yeah, actually.
If you're not superficial, you're good. But when you come, I tell them, I say, see, wedding is so long. Like, the marriage itself is really long. If you're looking for what to be so petty about, you will find it.
You'll find that one is normal now. That
Relax.
One is,
You know, treat your vendors well. The moment I see people being extra rude to vendors that are maybe like older than them, guys, and I'll just look at like, nah, this guy is going to try. Do you get that kind of thing? Yes, because you can't fake good character for so long. Yeah, because on my YouTube channel, you know, I always tell them, be nice, or if you're not nice, I'll give you back your money. So I find people that are even not nice, but they will pretend to be nice because they know that Asi doesn't joke. Yeah. So even when this coin wants to come out, I'll just look at you left, like, you sure you know I can return your money? Yeah. Don't. Most times you get to notice it a bit late. And then you still look at it. I don't think necessarily it might affect their marriage. It's just something that I feel a lot of people get to endure as much as they can. Yeah. That's why you see divorce might not be immediate. Yeah. Whatever might not be immediate because you can't spend. Do you know how much they are spending? It's a lot. So people that even divorce on the first year, it has to be something irreconcilable. Do you get? Because if not for anything, you have to at least endure the period of the kind of amount. Yeah. Some people like weddings cancel when they finish paying all the vendors.
Are you serious?
We don't refund, though, bro.
You get seriously.
So there's been an incident where the groom didn't show up that morning
of the wedding. But it's still better for both parties. I don't know.
They've done trad.
Okay, now.
He said he can't do it again.
But he will still have to go through traditional divorce now. I
mean, I don't know what he wants to do because that money is gone. Yeah. Is that divorce? Is that separation? Bride is confused. Everybody's there. And
what was his reason?
He said he can't do it anymore. That was the reason. As at the last time I checked. And it was,
I'm sure maybe there's something that he didn't say.
My dear, anything you don't want to say, at least that kind of money, you just down, I think upwards of 10M.
Are you serious?
Because that was it wasn't like luxury. It was good luxury, but I know that the vendors that they used were good. Very good vendors. Very good vendors. So all paid 100%. And they show up that morning and the hall is locked. So yeah. It has gone. It has gone. Yeah.
But I can't even imagine the bride. Like, how does she feel?
I was telling the person that I said she has to move cities because at this point, it was
you would just be running into vendors up and down, running into people you invited for your wedding.
She was taking pictures still, like, in fact, her bridal shower pictures were still on the stories. Everything was still there. Morning pictures were still coming on stories, and then it's not picking. And then it's like, no, let's keep taking. He will pick. It's not picking. Yeah. Before you know, people are coming to remove things. Like, okay, let's take the drinks. The drinks are going back to this person's house. This ones are going. The cake is going. Caterer, pack it.
Hey.
And then it now begins to dawn on you, like, it's for real. Happening. So MC is suited up, coming there. He's like, what's going on? They had to leave the decor for like 4 days. Like, the decorator left the decor. It was like, please, let my money at some point, maybe they will just come back together, have their... Just because you won't even believe that it's true. Yeah. You want the decor to still be there so that in case they find out what the reason was and they settle it, the wedding can still continue. I mean, vendors will not even charge you because, of course, we are empathetic. Like, the only thing you might lose is the food. Yes. Maybe to heat it up or whatever, it might just get bad. But the vendors if they're available, they can come the next day and just do it for you. So, it's a sad situation. So, that's part of it.
Okay, but now, as a wedding planner, have you had, I'm so curious about this question. Have you planned any wedding that 2 years later, 3 years later, they called you and said, or you found out that they were no longer together? Has it ever happened to you? Are you serious? How did you feel when it happened? I mean, it's not like
sad now. You might not know because me, I'm the kind of person that even if my friend, you probably have to really tell me that probably something like pregnancy, you're pregnant before I will know. Or I'm actually the last friend to know when people are dating. I'm just up there. So if I finally get to hear, I don't know how to bring
approach
it up. I don't know how to approach it. Even if somebody, God forbid, loses somebody, I'm the kind of friend that will just sit beside you. I won't say anything. I just want to be there. I don't know what to say. So usually it's a tough one to know what to say. But the first one hit me very hard because, of course, everybody wants weddings that they plan to prosper and do everything. But the first one really hit me so bad.
When it happened, did you look back and say, okay, maybe I saw the signs? Were there
There were no signs.
There were no signs.
That me, I will see. Because if finally you look at us, you'll be like, will I see even see anything love kind of sign? Yeah. It has to be an aggressive sign. But looking back, me personally, no, there were no signs. Friends who say there were signs because they were closer to them on a personal level. But me, from a client's point of view, there were no signs that were just like raging signs. No, everything was super perfect. If I would even use the word super perfect, that was one of the best events I had done. That was one of the events I enjoyed doing. I loved the people. I still speak with the lady till tomorrow, so it's just painful.
Sure, you always say a lot of your brides are your friends now.
Most of, like 50%. I don't who are the friends, because most times you're planning your wedding for like a year plus, and we are talking almost every day. At that point, we are friends.
Yes,
so you find that some people are really, really nice. They call you, they check on you, what's up. Not just beyond planning. They know everything that is going on with you, and then we talk with them, we encourage each other, and we just continue the friendship. So it's sad though. It's sad, but I think when we gather and speak about this kind of thing, I think I don't get as much of those news for my events, because most times I tell them like I pray, I'm a spiritual person, so there are some events if I don't take. But some people are like it's not manner. You know, some other vendors that probably do maybe more weddings are like, the one I just did 3 months is done. This one 5 months is done. This one I just... And I'm like, wait. You said what? You know? Other people are so used to it.
What do you think, or what have you been hearing? Let me not even just say what you think. What have you been hearing that is causing most of these divorces?
Nothing serious. From what I hear. Like, unless they don't want to speak, because most times they don't want to speak. But it's just irreconcilable difference. You just feel irreconcilable difference. Sometimes they will not, if it's that serious, I think hardly would you hear something like domestic violence that probably wasn't there. If it's 3 months, I mean, it was there throughout your dating. Family issues might also be one, like heavy duty family interference, such that both families are trading words that someone cannot take back. Yes, it's getting heated, and it's like, you take your smelling daughter, you take your useless son, you take your jigger, and at that point, even if the both of you walk out, your family is already done. So there's no point, there's no happy home like that. So most times that too. But then irreconcilable difference. Some of them know that they are not really compatible. They just want the wedding, and then when it's done, finances. So you enter inside and you find that he's owing a bunch of money, like millions.
That's another thing.
Yeah, that affects maybe your baby girl life. You find out that it's actually a scam.
A hustler. The guy is struggling.
The guy doesn't have this, he doesn't have that, and then because I'm not even going to just be, how would I put it? I'm not going to just specify or call out a particular region, but mostly Lagos. They have more weddings, so we hear more stories from there. And then the reason we hear more stories from them is because the weddings there, usually the budgets from the kind of weddings I do, the budgets are really high. So yes, when those big budget weddings crash, everybody's like, what?
How?
Yeah, so it's a lot, and it affects both bride and groom very much, because you don't want to see the bride that did the wedding that you ate 6 times in a club.
Yeah.
Do you get? And then you're like, gossip. It just goes out. And so most times it's not like if they ever say, oh, this person scattered, I don't think anybody has said something that, oh, this was heavy.
That's in your ears. It was like, okay.
Maybe they just don't want to disclose. Yeah, maybe they just don't want
But
to disclose.
do you feel that these days people have low tolerance for marriage like they used to have before? Like now, I feel like people are more like, I mean, with women being empowered these days, everybody has their own money, everybody's doing well. In fact, a lot of women are doing better than men these days. True. A lot of men are faking it till they make it, while the women are actually making it. When they now get married, it's like, I can't deal with your shit. Can you just leave? Or I'm leaving, you know? Do you feel like that's part of it?
Yes, actually, because back then, you have to just stay. Yeah. Right now, I feel the longer any lady stays with you, maybe she just wants to have all her children if she's tolerating you. So you also have to be mindful of that. The moment she has her kids, just please try her one more year.
As in,
just please, just please try her one more year. I'm not even joking. This is the best advice I can give you. People. Just please try. She might be there tolerating like the worst of bullshit. She has her first child. She has a second. Some people don't want to have kids in different places. They just want one father. However useless he is. Just one. Let all of them be siblings, like from one dad. And she will move. So some people they don't want to go about and say, okay, I use a surrogate or I use donor sperm. I will enter a marriage I know that doesn't have head and tail. I will enter a marriage with someone I know I cannot respect. You understand? Women, yes, they make money, but they are better in managing. And then some men still you want a modern wife with a traditional mindset.
Yes, that's one big mistake. I mean,
you cannot pick
one. You can't
one.
have it. Yeah, even women too that want modern husbands with traditional.
Come on, it's clashing because if you want I want my wife to be empowered to have this, to bring XYZ to the table, but I also want her to wake up in the morning and fry egg and bathe me and put water lunch. And bring lunch. And come on, it's going to be conflicting. Choose one.
Yeah.
So then we have people that are making so much money. At that point, they want to outsource those things, and then you're feeling neglected.
Neglected is true.
When you can just pick it up by yourself.
Exactly.
You know, I find that most of the reasons why people are scattering is just low tolerance, yes. And then there are some things that, friends. Yeah, you might be working in your marriage until you go and bring friends inside, and they'll be like, you're the one carrying your plate by yourself. It might just be side comments.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, you start looking at it like, truly, your wife is just pressing phone and gisting with you. You finish eating and she doesn't just glance to take your plate. Before you be like, why didn't you come and carry my plate? And then she's like, there's nothing there now. Just carry it to the kitchen. Hey, woman, you are sending me a whole chief Mba to the kitchen. And people bring up issues for themselves, but the tolerance level is on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
It's on the, because
even with kids in the picture now, people don't care.
No. It's in those days. In those days, right now with the kids, people feel like, okay, kids the truth is, I won't even say with kids in the picture you should now tolerate, because these kids are too smart.
Yeah, they know
that you're just there wasting time, and they're like, this woman have
they're even picking up on things.
Yes, they're picking up on place.
Sorry, they're picking up on things that you are showing, but you don't know you are showing.
Oh yes,
they're picking up on it.
Even when they enter relationships, they expect their spouse or their girlfriend to endure things because their mom endured it. So why are you making noise? So when you start setting boundaries and say, oh no, you can't do like this, they say no, you have to stay, because of course my dad was doing it, my mom was still wearing and with him. They had a happy marriage for 40 something years.
Yeah,
it's not really happy. Happy is like is relative. Whereas maybe the next door neighbor, after how many they just scattered. So the children knew that, see, this thing is something that can scatter house.
Yes.
So when I enter my next marriage, the moment you're seeing the sign, you'll be like, this my wife can leave me.
Yes.
So you brush up. Either ways, it affects the children.
Yeah.
So whether you like, you stay for them, it will affect them.
If
you go, it will affect them. So positively or negatively,
and
depends.
This thing people say of, our mothers endured. Did they really? Okay, maybe they endured on the surface, but it affected them. Many of them were sad. Many of them were angry. Many of them were
very bitter.
Very bitter. Many of them have lived very bitter lives. They just put that bitterness on the weaker people around them. House helps, their children,
and they now live
neighbors.
Their happy life through their children.
Thank you. But people see it as, my mother and my father stay together, they're eating from the same plate. No, talk to your mothers. Actually, men need to talk to their mothers, because I don't think a lot of them know. Even your fathers as well, talk to your fathers. He knows he regretted some things he did, but you, because you don't know about the regret parts, you're holding on to those things as.
I feel like, it's still the same circle. No matter whether it's old or young, they are still going to go through those things. Why? Because men now you they reign. You're carrying the girls, she's sitting down, she's doing. You now start entering your 50s, your 60s, you start having one or two health challenges. You now want a wife. You want someone to sit back. That's when you might find that she'll be like, oh, really? It's now that you want. No, nurse should go there.
I heard that it happened with
Julius
Agu or something.
Oh, no, okay, no. Julius Agu's own self, don't mind him, he's just lying. Julius Agu's own. Yeah, of course now. When he had the first issue, she was the one that put hand in his mouth.
Oh.
She stayed with him through all those things. You're coming out of your brain, allegedly. Allegedly, she, of course, but she stayed with him. And when you're coming out, people now said, bro is going around. You can't be healed and now want to carry girl. When somebody had, because they did their wedding here in Port Harcourt, and she's not from she's from a good, very good family. Yeah. So she stayed. She's one person that I would say, you really know your spouse when you're sick. It's not even money. Money is learning. Yeah. Sick to that level, because his career, everything had to hold on. At some point, was the best dressed man in Nigeria. He had
it's true.
Yes, he was the best dressed. Who is Ebuka? He was the best dressed. He was winning a lot of things. He had G-Wagon when people did not have he was doing very well. So illness is something that can remove your finance in a blink of an eye. So you have financial challenge, you have a sick husband. That's a lot on a marriage. You
yeah.
can't even sprinkle infidelity.
As
you can't
in,
test the woman like that, you know. At some point, everybody has their breaking point. So even if there was speculation, there was this, maybe she just got tired.
Yeah.
You know, instead of me to hate you to the point that I will kill you one day,
As in,
let me just go. You know, and
when I'm supposed to give you your drugs, I'll add extra. I'm not supposed to add.
let
you
me
sleep
just
and not wake up.
Let me just go at this point. So that's just it.
But what do you think of this? I'm just jumping. Patience was awkward. I said she will not leave her marriage for. She won't leave her home for anybody. That the infidel will go. I don't know who she's referring to as infidel.
Okay, yeah, in terms of infidelity being a reason.
Yeah.
I feel like wedding is not, or marriages are not like one shoe fits all, or one size fits all. It depends on what you want. You know, it depends on what you want. Some people don't see it as reason enough. That's also good. That's also fine. Some people see it as the breaking point, as you try it out. That's also fine. You know, everybody doesn't. I just look at it like, well, you might, if you don't see it as a breaking point, you might just be careless. If you get something like HIV, you can pass it to your children.
To your children, yeah.
There are some STDs that if you get those STDs and you get pregnant, your child might have like some developmental issues.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah, do you know one thing I even think happens with older people now? A lot of them are not even being intimate with their husbands anymore. So it's like whatever.
It's like roommates.
Yeah, they don't care. They have their own rooms. They are separate. They don't care. They just want you to
eat your food,
to be happy. Yeah, the way you want
to carry ghetto. Just carry and
just don't bring her to my home.
Just don't bring her to my home. Do that thing you're doing. Do it there. And then when we go for occasions, you see the guy comes with the lady, but then comes with his side chicks. And I feel like people, you know, Nigerian women now, like the core Nigerian woman feels divorce is worse than death. You can't even like, what? Am I a widow? What do you mean? When my husband is alive, we know that feeling of, I don't blame them. It's the way the society is tailored. And then it doesn't favor a single mother so much.
It's
you know,
true.
when you come out, what are you doing with the children?
Yeah.
That's the first thing. A single father can remarry.
Sharp,
he can marry somebody that just came out from university. But it's so tough, especially for mothers.
Sorry, let me divert a bit. Peter, is it Peter or Paul? Which one is dating that?
It's Paul.
Girl? It's Paul. Please, what is happening in that place?
See,
I'm asking
like
as if
Paul, as if I'm his younger cousin. Paul is out to pepper us. I used to tell my friend, I say, see, this relationship will favor us one way or the other.
As in,
he will sing. If he break her heart, he will sing. If they're in love, he will sing. So it will favor me. The day she leave him, he will sing very good album.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's inspired again. He needs to sing. No, but the thing with Paul, I feel the moment Paul started disrespecting Peter's wife, I knew he wasn't treating his wife well.
Right.
You cannot fake that level of disregard for a woman. You can't fake it. That was when I knew. I just told somebody, I was like, I'm praying for this woman because you can't. For me, the moment he started disrespecting Lola like that, Peter never. Yes. No matter how their quarrel was, he never disrespected Anita or even Jude's wife. So the moment you start disrespecting on that level and then you come out and say you've been single for 4 years, how old are her twins? Do you understand? Yeah. So when we backtrack, we want to know if this woman carried pregnancy and that early part, did she survive it on her own? Yeah. Do you get? Because she was citing neglect and being an absent father on her court documents. So you were not there, uncle. And then this is somebody that survived 3 to 4 miscarriages. So it's almost like God telling her, leave this man.
Do you know, this thing you just said? I remember, I think it was my father that was saying it, that in some marriages, some or not all, some marriages where getting pregnant is an issue. Sometimes it's a sign that you should come and be going. I don't know how true it is, but sometimes it's a sign.
Everything is a sign.
Yeah.
Everything is a sign because you know, especially when this child is a child that you looked for. Yeah. What do you want to say? The moment I came in, you are divorcing. I put stupid. Exactly. Like I was sitting in heaven. You practically beg God for me. It's like Basketmouth's issue. Yeah. Like you have been trying. I think she also had like 3 miscarriages. Baby lands. The baby is 1 year. People say irreconcilable. You are not serious. You're not serious. I was there. Relaxing. Do you get? So I feel most people.
Do you think that sometimes the children, as in when a baby comes into a marriage, does it put a strain on the marriage?
Of course, now. Do you know who these children are? Very jobless and annoying people that just come in. Very stressful. If you like people, better be in love before you bring them. They will come here and shake your leg. So yeah. children. You know, most times people try to have children to mend their marriages. Doesn't work. Don't do that. Some people use like kids as a way to mend a marriage. It can't work.
Yeah.
It can't work. Yes, it can be. Imagine going through miscarriage with an insensitive partner. Like the day she will write a book, the day Anita will write a book, I wish she can. I think she commented on the weight. I think this movie that Nse just did, based on Yewande's book. There's one particular book about weighting, TTC, and the rest. And her comment, I'm like, this lady has so much to share. Yeah. Because if I'm going through that, I now finally get pregnant with twins. The twins are on my. Do you know how stressful one is? They're now two. And then their father is probably in a club every time. And then the time he shows up on the internet, he's celebrating 1 year anniversary. Like, everything is just, and you know, she has 3 kids. That's why I said divorce as a Nigerian woman doesn't really favor you, because what are you going to do with 3? Where are you going to? The chances of remarrying are very slim.
But thank God she's not even in Nigeria now.
Yeah, of course. That's the best way. And she's doing very well. She's not here, but the judgment, the moment he came out with this, his girlfriend, the judgment, people were like, remove the Okoye name. The same thing they were doing with me. Remove the name. And, come on.
Yeah, it's not easy now.
It's not. It's like
oh, you know your documents.
That's everything. They've been together since 2004 or something.
Yes, I remember.
Like really, that. Even the same thing with Basketmouth. There are people that have dated. So you and your 1 year married, you don't want to allow us here. 365 days with the love of my life. No monkey can separate us. 2022 just told us, don't bring monkey into your marriage. If you're happy, just be quiet. Don't post. Because it's like the moment you just put eyes on it, everybody will be like, oh, no monkey can separate you. Let's see.
Challenge accepted.
But that's basically it. Like, for Paul, well.
Iretiola Doyle did an interview recently.
I knew they were separated since. I don't know why people were shocked. Yeah, they were separated since. I think their divorce just, Nigeria will frustrate you. You can't just divorce like that. In this country, you can leave your husband's house 5 years after they've not answered. The judge will say the two of you are not serious. Yeah. Is it not? Ubi and Lily and Nesoro. Yeah, they say, what is he? He say he's a good father. He shows up, and you went to my friend, get her from here. Like, our judges are just unprofessional to the point of they don't even have time for your nonsense. They'll be like, go back, don't stress me. That's the kind of. So yeah, they've been separated for a while, and then the same thing she said with the name. She said that name, she made the name too.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he made it, but that's her name. Where will she start from?
Yeah.
So you can't just pull it out. You can't pull it out. So of course, name is also an issue, and then you don't want a situation whereby you're checking your children into different things, and then your name is so different from their name.
Yeah.
Do you understand? They always want that content. Yeah, because you're their mom. You don't want to start explaining why your name is different. So, but of course, people say, oh, there's a new Mrs. Doyle or there's a new Mrs. XYZ. Why not change it? You say you can permanently leave the name like that.
Yeah.
That's just it.
That's really sad, though. Although, in her own case, from the way she was talking, sometimes, yes, I mean, divorce is not good in general, but sometimes it's actually the best thing for one or two people in the marriage. Yeah, maybe for the wife or for the husband, for both of themselves, the best thing might just be to divorce. So we can't really just sit here and judge and say, why did you? He's such a good man. How do you know? Were you there?
Don't mind them. I feel like divorce, anybody can divorce. There's nothing you want to advise somebody that we want to divorce, fine, divorce. If you want to stay single, fine, stay single.
And there's something stupid that people do. I call it stupid, where as Peter now is dating this young girl, people will say, look at it now. That's how the wife left the home for this young girl. Look at it. It's not that bad. That's why they feel like him dating this young, fine girl is kind of cleaning up his image. That it means that he must have been a good person.
It's so funny. Don't mind them. No people, their mouth used to scratch. I saw her snapping picture in Anita's house. I'm like, look at you.
Look at you.
Must be nice.
The
chandelier that she picked
respect,
out. Already house. I like this chandelier. And the guy is like... I was like, wow, such a nice piece.
Such a Gen Z action.
Are you not seeing these blinds that Anita picked up? It can be painful, but because even in relationship it's painful. When you're dating somebody and you go and pick things in the house and then you see one girl doing selfie in the house, it's painful. So then in marriage and then it's somebody that is that young, that has to be like, I'm not wishing them bad, but if it gets to stepmother vibes, bro, you have young children, so you want to, is this the stepmother for them?
But I don't think for me, I don't think the girl is there for long term.
She's just made forever.
Yeah.
But then where are her parents? Because she didn't go home this December. and she's 22.
You think
there is no way, like, I don't understand. Parents know we can do better.
A lot of parents don't care.
This Gen Z, we cannot. When you start making your child the breadwinner,
yeah, that's another thing.
They start messing up. I'm seeing some outfits. I'm like, no. And then somebody is going off with a man to South Sudan, to this place, to this. Like, December, when people are with their parents, no.
But yeah, her brother is on TikTok as well.
Her brother is on TikTok. Is that a job?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay, that, like he's famous.
He's famous, not famous, but he's on TikTok. And from the kind of videos he used to do, even till now, I can tell that they don't come from a very rich home.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tell that he's just an maybe average or even struggling family. So that kind of family, the girl can do whatever
see
she
her
wants
like
to
jackpot.
Do. Yes, now I'm saying that. No. Do you know if they even pushed her and said, go and meet him? Or maybe when she's still having double mind, they're like, you want to divorce our bag? Please, you want to leave our bag? Please carry our bag along.
Oh man, that would be sad. She's really young, but then if she's in love, she said her man is really a good man.
Of course, he's a good man.
Bro, at this point, I see anything married, it's just always funny. I'm like, anything your eye see, you take.
Me, I just feel like
anything
he's
your
on.
Eye like.
What I see when I see him doing all those things he's doing, people are saying, "Oh, you didn't post your wife. Now you're posting a young girl." I'm like, that's the point. He's trying to
make a point.
Yeah, he's trying to pepper. Like,
point.
That's it. So
no, you should post away. He's doing like high school love. They're giving me high school vibes. When I see that, I'm just happy. I'm like, wow, must be nice. Because the album that will come out of this relationship, very sweet album. I will listen.
But okay, another question I wanted to ask you now is about Fancy and Alex. What's Alex's son himself? Actually,
Alex Ekubo.
Alex Ekubo. No, Fancy Acholono or something like that. It's Achalono.
Achalono. I never did. That's the pronunciation I be. Achalono.
I've never really looked
I stopped
at
pronouncing because I don't want to butcher it.
I just
Fancy and Alex. Fancy and Alex. That was just embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing.
Because I remember going on social media about this, where people are like,
I just stopped at some point.
Exposing.
Don't mind them. It's only because we are girls. Exposing. Come on, keep quiet.
As in, everybody
will you not marry tomorrow? You think Fancy will enter house and wants to marry my uncle? I'll be like, hey, no. She used to talk outside. You get people, you don't have friends that are real. You don't have friends that are concerned about your social media blueprints. Yeah. Your entire work in this life is now tied to a man's raging ex-girlfriend. Exactly. Are you serious? Nobody's talking about whether you're educated, what you have done,
or what
businesses.
You do for a living.
You know what you do. We don't know what Fancy does for a living.
Do you know, I had to go to her page and check. And I was like, okay, she's a model or something. And I was like, oh. And I said, and I was like, in fact, you know when I went to her page, it now made me more confused. Like, so what are you? So what is it?
Why are you this offended?
Exactly. Why are you this offended? Why are you?
In fact, she made him more of a catch.
Exactly.
It's like she doesn't know what she did. She made him more of a catch. You dragged him. I did a video back then. I was like, what's all this now? You know, dragged him. You say, oh, you're not getting married again, and then you went back.
Even
though he told you, of course, you apologize publicly.
Exactly now.
What, are you surprised? As he deceived you. How? You dragged him publicly. Probably he lost deals
or something.
And the rest.
Yeah.
And then you can't just bring a shabby this thing. Please, when you want to post it, show me.
Exactly.
Let me vet it because it's PR. Of course, people have to vet it. You scream munching it as if it's point. It's not point from you. Before women will run into me and say, I see. Allah had to speak a truth. Some truths are better swallowed.
Yeah, swallow it.
Let it just be that you apologize and you find out that he's still sneaky. You be like, okay, Fancy came, she apologized, maybe because she has a new man.
Yeah.
That would nobody will know.
I think what happened there, I think she regretted her actions immediately it happened. Then she had been trying to come back, but
no, she said the both of them have been wanting to come. It's not what she said.
I feel like she's trying to come back, but
come back to do what?
I don't know. My own is you're saying he's all of these terrible things. So what are you now going back to look for?
Her entire rant was confusing for me.
Yeah.
And for me, it was more like I don't know what she just validated the guy like above what he was.
What he was before, yes, made him a thing.
Because everybody, the maturity with which he did not say anything from the first disgrace, to this one, him. They did not say. In fact, his sister had enough to the point where she came out and was crying.
Yeah.
This marriage can never work. Families are already stressed out.
Exactly. So what are you looking for?
It's already done. And then there's no point shaming him for whatever he is. Yes. If you think he's that thing,
then leave it for him.
Why were you there?
Exactly.
Why were you there? Like, no. If he's that, is that the crime? He didn't beat you.
Exactly.
He didn't shout. That's the only sin. My dear, that's not a sin now. Leave
him alone, yeah.
Oh, there's this other COVID girl. There's this other, come on. Are we having revelation? Come on. It's like, since I'm not going to have you, I'm going to drag you so that I will spoil you for the rest.
Know how social media works. She doesn't know.
You don't know Nigerian girls.
Now she knows.
Jesus Christ. In fact, is that thing that you say you don't like that they will run
yes, they want to see for themselves.
They want to see for themselves.
See for myself.
And then the next person is going to so pepper you with him because she knows you're triggered. She already knows that if anybody enters that Alex's house now, anything you post, Fancy will be giving us quotes. Should be on her Insta story, and it's not a good thing. When people can see you like that, come on, just be quiet. And that's what the thing. She was not granting interview to SDK, granting interview to this one. Why you going on a tour?
Do you know, bringing this back to marriage? Do you know, sometimes I feel like there are some things people do in marriage that makes it harder to reconcile. Yes, for instance, especially like all these them Tonto and co. I'm not saying Tonto should go back to the guy. I mean, everybody has their issues. But I feel like sometimes when issues start happening in marriages, people should try as much as possible not to take it out of the marriage. Try and not out. I mean, not like you shouldn't involve other people. I mean, don't bring it to social media. Don't go and post critic messages. Don't things that once you do, there's no going back.
There's no
going back. So I feel like it affects a lot of marriages. Even this. Going back to wedding and wedding planning and all of that, do you think that the way some people behave during the wedding planning process can be now red flags for their new couple? Like, I might meet you, you're a nice person, you're good, everything, I like you, I want to marry you. Then during the wedding, you turn to bridezilla. You're now.
Yeah, I feel, of course, relationships people can pretend. Wedding brings out the worst in people, definitely. I always tell them, I say, see, wedding planning process is very spiritual. I tell people to pray, you don't to pray. You want to be choosing color with me, no problem now. There might be things that you usually say to your boyfriend or your fiancé that it's normal, it's nice. During the wedding planning process, if one of his auntie hears you calling him Ode,
it's true.
Do you understand how some things can just be little? Yeah. If one of the uncles insults an auntie and calls her like harlot or something, two families are already at loggerheads. There are weddings you go to, like you can almost sense the tension between the two families. This one should allow this one
like that. I could
spray money. This one should allow this one spray. You already know that these couples throughout their marriage, in fact, it will just most times the way those marriages can work very well is if the both of them should just leave this country. They should not be around. Because there was something that happened, I think, recently, where the bride was angry and something, and the wedding just, what did they say? Whatever she said to the husband in anger was now revealed to his aunties, and they're like, this is who you want to marry? Never. Everybody paid, everything done, and they just couldn't get past it. So you as a husband, if you know that, there are certain things that your wife does that, of course, you can work on it inside the house. In that your raging anger, if you carry it and expose to your family will not forgive her.
Yes.
You might forgive her and want to move on, and your family can never forgive her. So most times, that's the main reason why, even if you must, don't even take it outside. Because if an auntie should hear that this is the thing she called you, or an uncle should hear that this is what he called you, after you people will have finished laughing and no. Throughout wedding or what they call family meetings, those things will come up. So even in the wedding planning process, because finance can be a big issue. Oh, I gave my uncle 500,000 to sort out the umuada, and then when you go there that day, the yam is not giving you 500k vibes. This one is not. Before you know, words about did your uncle take my money? It's very. So I always tell clients, please be very careful the kind of words you use, because post that your wedding, they will not forgive you.
They won't forgive you.
Anything you insinuate that somebody stole, or you call somebody any bad word, you have 5 children. They will still remember it.
Yes.
Do you get? So that is one way that people always have issues when it comes to beyond. Like, don't take things like, even if you're angry and you're shouting and you're thinking it's better you just text your wife and you will move out of that space and talk about it than for you to say it or they see it in your face. Because that's the I feel, is it awkward or is it just the part about wedding planning that makes you see extended, the people that are not necessary, the people that are not like pivotal, but you know how words spread. That your uncle that is offended, in the grand scale of things, you've never spoken to him in 20 years.
Exactly.
But he kept spreading it, and now he has infested all the family members about that situation. So you see that normally he would never have heard this thing if you were not getting married. One, he would never have been in the mind if you had quarrel with your husband. It would never even get to his point. So, but you see that because of the heat of the moment now, that uncle has heard one thing. Maybe you call him a drunkard or you call him something, and then he's offended by it. You have to pay this. You have to buy cow.
You're not telling everybody about it.
You start complaining throughout. That my in-law that insulted me. That my this one that your wife that doesn't have respect. And I feel like these seeds, they take roots after a while. You might just be taking it like, uncle, sorry now. You people stay 5 years. Somebody keeps calling your wife that she doesn't have respect. Exactly. And then she does something just carelessly. You be like, that's why they say you don't have respect. Exactly. Before you know, you believe that she doesn't have respect. And then if she's tired and can't make you food, you say, you see, because you don't respect me. And those words now, when you tell a woman those words, after a while, she begins to be defensive towards those kind of words. Because we want to hear nice things. And then you're like, you don't respect me, you don't respect me. After a while, before you know, you see somebody, they stayed 10 years, why did they divorce? It's seed. It's seed that gradually has been growing. It has been.
Okay, let me just ask you this final question. I don't know how your wedding was, but if you were to go back and get married again, will you have a big wedding or a small wedding? Or in fact, no wedding, Sef. Just make we go church, make them pray, make they go house.
But like, even going back, Sef, I'll just have like a moderate wedding. Same, it wasn't like that big, but it would still be moderate. I would have taken my time, longer. Yes, I'd have taken my time to pick. Then in terms of vendors, was just when I started my event planning business with my own wedding. So vendors, I was just picking my friends, whoever can. I was only particular about pictures. My photo and my video, I brought them from out of the state. But the rest of the things, I was like, I'm not particular about those ones. So vendors but it will be small. I'm not like a big wedding kind. I don't even like when the spotlight is on me. So I've never thrown a birthday party. I'd rather gather all my friends who go and snap picture. But when it's a party and us is I don't like that. I don't like that kind of thing.
I don't like it.
Most times, the smaller the better. The smaller the better when it comes to that. So
I think I shared the same this thing too. My wedding wasn't that big, but it was bigger than I would have loved. 90% of the people that were there, I don't know them. It's all these fathers, these mothers, that I was just like, if I could go back in time, I would do a very small wedding. Me, my husband,
know everybody.
Yes,
and you could just have fun. I've done several.
I'm sorry, it's not even about the budget per se.
No, it's not budget.
I don't even mind spending that same amount.
Intimate weddings are expensive.
Exactly.
What are you saying? Are you serious? Intimate weddings. I've done a wedding 200 people and it was trumping some 600 people wedding because of course intimate weddings, especially if you have those, you want those top vendors, classy wedding, it's expensive. It's very expensive. But you still have your moments. If you as the bride, you want to have the moment, because the truth, I always say people are so fixated on the wedding day. You will miss it. 8 hours is gone if you do not relax. 8 hours is gone because that bridezilla vibe, it always spills into honeymoon. Yes. And then honeymoon, there are some things that are said that are not forgiven. They are not treated. They enter your marriage. Why? Because I always tell people, if you can move your honeymoon so that you properly sleep.
Right, instead of immediately after.
Don't go immediately. You're tired, plus if you go far, jet lagged, you might go to the best of the sites, you will not see it because the both of you are sleeping, calling vendors, paying balance, replying congratulations messages, and you're not rested. If you can take that week first to relax, rest, clean your house, arrange, then you just go. You can take it even the next month. You can just go, but relax, because true, people are super stressed in their honeymoon. So stressed that's where most people have their first
quarrels. Yes, it's
in
true.
Such a fine site, celebrating something like that, and then if one of the spouses is not mature enough, that quarrel is going to follow you, definitely. So that's what I would say maybe leads to divorce eventually, because if somebody keeps repeating, that's her in Dubai, you left me in the corner. And
some people never forget. Some people they'll always remember it.
It's one thing to not forget, but when you now keep reminding the person, come on, you say forgive now. Say no, that's how the other day in Turkey, you did this to me. You are seeing your bad character will soon follow you. Get that kind of thing. So after a while, they get tired and it affects them.
All right, guys, I have enjoyed this conversation. Anyway, Adaeze is always like the life of the party. She always talks, sense. I like people that talk like her, you know. So I'm so happy. I'm glad you came.
Yeah, thank you so much
for coming. You guys, Adaeze Darling has a channel. It's called Adaeze Darling. She's a wedding planner. She talks about all things wedding, all things life, all things trending, you know, topics. She gives her own wisdom woman. She's always dropping gems on her channel, so you guys should go and check her out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys should wait for, you know, more episodes. Hopefully we'll have Adaeze Darling back on our channel hopefully, or that's a prayer. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, let me know in the comment section 1 or 2 things that you've learned from today's video, or anything you want to add. If you have questions for Adaeze Darling, you can leave them in the comment section and she might answer, or I might just forward them to her later. She'll answer them later. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye guys.
Bye.